Yeah, he's already dead.
All right. And speaking of killing him again,
God damn it!
That brings us to the main event where,
hot potato.
Alexa Bliss took back her title again.
This goes back to the cruiserweight title at SummerSlam. Why? Why even bother doing it in the first place?
I am still trying to figure that out. So seriously, anyone who's listening to this right now, leave us a comment below or reply to us on Twitter. Tell us your theory. What's with this hot potatoing of the Raw Women's title? Why would they do this? Because we're trying to figure it out.
Did Sasha Banks get in trouble?
Maybe.
I think we would have heard about it by now.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too.
If she was just gonna lose it back on Raw, it makes no sense. Why would you take it off of Bliss?
Oh boy, I honestly don't know. I am as baffled as anyone else.
It's one of those things where, once again, this should have been the SummerSlam match. All of it.
It really should.
As Neville retaining the title should have been the SummerSlam match instead of winning the title from TSOW, who won it on Raw. Why? This is the same thing. Alexa Bliss wins the title on Raw when she could have retained at SummerSlam, but I guess they gave Sasha Banks the feel-good moment. Why? She was the spare, as I said.
The only thing I can think of was to increase the unpredictability of Raw and SmackDown so that people actually tune in and this is their half-assed attempt to make Raw and SmackDown must-see television again.
And that's a problem because, as I've said, unpredictability is good. It still has to make sense. Unpredictable is good when it actually also makes sense in a logical progression. Unpredictable is not good when it's just like, oh, random ass victory here. Oh, take it back here. Whatever. No. Unpredictable. If you're gonna be unpredictable, you have to stick. You have Sasha Banks won the title at SummerSlam. Wow, didn't see that coming, didn't predict it. Now it's gotta stick. Make it logical to our minds. No. Instead, hot potato right back to the champion, and all we're thinking is, why'd she even win it in the first place? Well, what is that about?
Hey, that's why it's an attempt and not a victory as far as I'm concerned. But anyway,
seems like that's what WWE's best at, attempting.
Hey, at least they're trying new things for whatever that's worth. Speaking of trying new things and speaking of coming out of nowhere, that brings us to a little happening on SmackDown this week. The whole Nakamura-Orton thing that seems to be going down right now.
That's a good little matchup I'd like to see.
Well, hey, first off, we got the team of Shinsuke Nakamura and Randy Orton defeating Jinder Mahal and Rusev.
You mean Jinder Mahal and the Jobber?
Yeah.
That's it.
So those two win. They're celebrating, and then Orton hits the RKO on Shinsuke Nakamura out of nowhere. Leading up to, for next week's SmackDown,
number one contender.
We've got a number one contender match between Shinsuke and Randy Orton.
And why do I feel like this is about to become a triple threat match?
Because it probably is.
I don't know. Hey, predictable. Okay, but it makes sense. So it's good.
Yeah, besides, we're all...
Even though Randy Orton can go away from Jinder Mahal at this point. Okay, I'm kind of done with that. But that's
I'm just done on Jinder Mahal period now. But if nothing else, now we're getting a Nakamura-Orton series.
Yeah. So this time you actually have Nakamura win the title. And then we can have a Nakamura versus Orton feud that will bring the house down for the next couple months. And that would be good. Okay, we just have to get that sad sack out of here first.
I really hope so. But I'm saying that as someone who's had his heart broken before. You broke my heart at SummerSlam. Please stop teasing me. Seal the deal.
And it's always nice to see Randy Orton just randomly attacking people. Brings back the old days for me. Mm-hmm. Where whenever you never knew who Randy Orton was going to attack back then. He would just come out, RKO someone, and leave, and we'd be like, "Oh, cool."
And you know what? This was one of those matches where I never knew how good it could possibly be until it's presented in front of me. Like going back to Okada for a second. When I hear American voices describe Okada, the one thing I keep hearing is that Okada is basically the Japanese Randy Orton. In terms of drop kick and capability, I've always kept hearing him described as a Japanese Randy Orton. Again, I think the same is true. I think Orton is basically the American equivalent of Okada.
So basically, you're thinking that they're trying to make Nakamura Okada.
Not necessarily. What I am saying is that given everyone's level of experience and capability,
it's gonna be good.
I mean, Jinder Mahal, granted, you could make the case where Jinder Mahal was absolutely the weak link, and I would agree with that.
Yeah.
With this one, with Nakamura and Orton, there is no weak link. There is no Jannetty.
Yeah. I think at this point, okay, you need to give Nakamura a feud that will let him show what he can do. Okay, as much as we thought it was going to come with Ziggler, it didn't. Okay, and then they set him up with Jinder, and what a disaster that was. You put him with Orton for a couple months, and the casual fans will see the Nakamura that we know. Okay, we have not, as much as other people would like to try to downplay it. Okay, Nakamura's run into WWE has been kind of lukewarm for me since he came up. Okay,
on the main roster.
The main roster,
it's been a little slow going for him.
It's been a little slow going. Matches that you thought should be great were kind of ho hum. Okay, matches that you thought could be okay, really kind of sucked. And you haven't had a good chance to just showcase Nakamura. Okay, give him Orton. Let them have 20 to 25 minutes on a pay-per-view, and let them go. That's it.
And you know what? If No Mercy is to be expected, I think this is what we're going to go see. So hopefully they'll deliver. I'm more confident, at least with more confident in the Jinder matches, that's what we're going to get. So that being said, between Raw and SmackDown, which do you feel was a stronger show? Who won this week?
Even though it pissed me off, I'm gonna go with Raw.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna
because there was more is going on Raw these days than on SmackDown. More that I'm interested in, and that's what I gauge which show is better. How much stuff am I interested in that I can sit back, watch? And even though something over there pisses me off, I can still go, okay, but these were good.
Yeah, and not for nothing, not just the Cena Reigns massacre. Not only was that fun, just seeing Enzo actually break out on his own and actually do a finisher, that to me was enough.
And SmackDown's just been kind of, as it rolls on. Okay, SmackDown's been weak since the shakeup.
Agreed.
Obviously, because all of their talent went to Raw.
Agreed.
We should have seen that coming. But, which is why Jinder's the champion in the first place. But, Yeah, all the noteworthy things are happening on Raw, and that makes it the more enjoyable show at this point.
Yeah, totally agreed. Hopefully Orton Nakamura will go some better lengths to actually improve that. I'm convinced it'll be really, really entertaining once it picks up. But then, of course, the operative phrase being once it picks up, which hopefully that, for us, that will mean next week's SmackDown.
There is always hope.
There is always hope. So now it's time in our show to turn it over to you, the listening audience, our fellow scholars of wrestling, all across the web. What did you think of this week in wrestling? What did you think of Raw, SmackDown? Who do you like out of the Mae Young Classic? What did you think of the PWI 500? Let us know. Give us all your thoughts. Drop us a line and wherever you want on the internet. Whether maybe it's in the comments. Give us a thumbs up. Subscribe if you want or if you haven't already. Check us out on Facebook. Leave us a note. Just look for the Scholars of Wrestling Show. Of course, you can do the cool guy thing and check us out on their Twitter machines. Starting with our main page at ScholarsOW for all the latest Scholars of Wrestling episode uploads every single weekend. But for added fun, you can check us out directly and our running commentaries at our personal Twitter machines. Starting with our fearless leader, Tarek. You can check him out at the Avataric. Brian, where can they reach you?
You can find me at Atomic Beanpole.
And you can reach me at I'm Robbie Rage. Join the conversation. Let us know what you think. Wrestling's great. Just follow us.
Yes.
Join the conversation.
Oh.
I'm getting tired already. But anyway, I need to stop talking now because, after all, you already know who we are. We are the Scholars of Wrestling, and you have just been schooled.
You're welcome.
See you all next week.
Indeed.